Hello, everyone. Welcome back for section 3, SQL Server 2025, the AI-ready core. You've got Ryan and Tristan here from Data Courage. As Ryan is going to talk us through and walk us through his top 50 takeaways from FabCon 2026. With that said, Ryan, here we are, section 3. Take it away.
Thank you. Yeah. So as I get into this, I'll say this is the first SQL Con too, right? So it was FabCon and SQL Con. I don't know that those will always be the same place, but since this was the beginning of SQL Con, that's what we got, and that's why we got our little buddy here, the comic guy. So that's because of SQL Con. But this section is going to be entirely on SQL Server 2025, and so because it deserves a section of its own with the amount of stuff that they are doing in this tool. I've been in the BI reporting realm for longer than I can admit, but the last year has seen more advancement in SQL Server than probably the last 20 years combined. So very neat
Wow,
stuff
that's saying
happening
something.
here. Yeah.
That's saying
Um,
something.
so first off, OneLake security. This is a huge, huge win. This allows us to apply security once at the OneLake level, and then that data will be secured all the way through any semantic models, through any ontologies, and then through any IQs, so any AIs, back through all the way through to the user. Okay. And so this is allowing us to say, for instance, the old adage, right? Let's lock it down by salesperson. I only want them to be able to see their sales. We could do this now on one-dimensional table, and it will follow it through everywhere that you're then presenting that data to your users. This is OneLake security. This is something that we've been really hoping for a long time. There's some environments where you have to apply security in 8 different places. This changes that and is a very big update.
Awesome.
The next one is CI/CD improvements. They are now making it so that this is Git ready. So this is making it so that we can actually see and adjust the pipelines from code based, right? Making it Git ready allows us to actually see it and basically work in it that way, and allows us to automatically validate that things are going to be deployed in the right way in our test environment before it even touches production, right? So this is going to mean less broken stuff and better integration with how a modern data practice runs, right? Where you have dev, test, and prod. This is really Fabric coming to some sort of maturity there, and allowing for CI/CD to really drive the show. So it's less having to be in the UI and doing things clicky, and more being able to do it from a code base solution. uh, Optimized locking. This is one of those interesting ones that also met to a roar of applause in the SQL Con update. Essentially, you can set it up so that mission critical workloads won't be interfered with by anything else, right? So think of it as, Johnny, the reporting guy, doesn't know what he's doing. He's built out some super cool report, but it locks things up while it's running. Whereas you've got a mission critical sales ordering entry process that's going 24/7, and it just starts hanging every time Johnny's report starts running. Okay. Well, it's hard to sometimes see those, especially that scenario is a little bit exaggerated as well. But what happens is that locking thing is basically it kills it. You can now basically say that this workload, no matter what, gets to bypass any deadlocks. It champions what you've done for your mission critical stuff. The next one is an interesting one. Okay, so this is called vector data type,
Okay.
and this is why SQL Server 2025 is now officially an AI database. With the introduction of the data type vector, we can now actually If you wanted to build a chat with your data feature in the past, we had to sync all of our data up to a vector database like, Pinecone or Weaviate. But now it's all actually inside of our own SQL tables. We can actually do a vector search using T-SQL, and it's going to allow us to group rows based on meaning, rows based on sentiment. It means we can actually use AI applications for natural language against our existing structured database. Pretty cool.
In a way, is again something we talked about, is that you're able to go take all these moving parts that you have and be able to have more control to it and control over that cost associated to it and more latency. Combining those together, this is taking some huge steps forward. If you're not hearing this from Ryan, what he's saying is massive, right? This allows you continuously to do more in-house than having to potentially rely on outsourced or outside applications to get you there, right?
Yeah.
Microsoft has made some
really
major improvements on this.
It emphasizes the fact that companies should own their data estate, right?
Yeah.
The importance of having good data in your database has never been more clear. But by having this available, and think of it as like embedding portions of AI into your dimensions, which can then give you that extra insight as you're using it for reporting off of the IQ system that I mentioned previously, right? So it's using database technology with like an adrenaline shot from from AI called the vector data type.
Okay.
The next one is FUEM. This one's been around for a little bit, but kind of like a pet project that turned into a community effort, which has turned into Microsoft's pushing it. This is it's called Fabric Unified Admin Monitoring. It's a report set that you can integrate into your workspaces and allows you to see how your capacity reporting is doing, right? How much, think of it as the control center for our entire Fabric workspace. What's running? What's consuming costs? Who built reports? Which reports are being run? Right? All of those kind of standard ones. But it also moves us from being a reactive management where we just see that the bill is high and why, and then we react, right? Instead, we can actually be proactive and see how many people are running things. Are we on pace? Are we exceeding expectations, right? And then we can spot and maybe fix those in real time rather than after the fact, right? So FUAM is available, generally available for everybody. You can see they've already got an aka.ms link there at the bottom. Just go out to that and you can get it set up for yourself.
Yeah. And in essence, guys, what Ryan is saying, this is a way for you to be able to keep an eye on the bill and the health of the system and being able to, be proactive and not just reactive, right? Again, able to collect every log, every capacity metric you have there, and every bit of the metadata, right? From the tenant, it stores in that centralized lakehouse. So, it's really, again, Fabric's taking some massive leaps that they revealed at FabCon 2026. Well, Ryan, that wraps us up for this section 3 here. All right, bear with us. Right, we're going to roll into section 4. That's going to be on the next wave of big hitters. So definitely important for you to be able to take a look at that and see what Ryan and I have to discuss on those points. So again, that's the end of section 3. Appreciate you. We'll see you in section 4.